Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Dearborn Board of Education regular meeting for July 25th, 2022. Thank you very much for your patience. We appreciate it. We were in a closed session upstairs. May I have the first roll call, please?
Trustee Berry?
Here.
Trustee D'Ambrosio?
Here.
Trustee Moses?
Here.
Trustee Petrikov?
Here.
Trustee Thorpe?
Here.
Trustee Watts here. President McDonald?
Here. Next item, please.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag. Executive Directors Mr. Mike Asaley and Ms. Lamis Seward would like to lead to the Pledge of Allegiance.
Where's the flag?
Good question.
Let's just fake it.
Just bring it up on the screen.
Close enough.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Superintendent's update.
So just first want to thank President Cavaloon and the college for hosting us due to the renovations over at the P-12 boardroom. So I'm going to start with the retirements that we have every month, and I want to congratulate our retirees and also thank them for their many years of service. Carla Andreni, over 26 years. Linda Boron, 29 years. Dale Donaldson, 33 years. Rebecca Jankowski, over 17 years. Lori Kevaney, over 17 years. Irene Mahar, over 35 years. Anne Morabito, over 17 years. Elaine Starrett, 10 years of service. If we could congratulate them, I'd appreciate that. Again, we thank them, and cards will go out congratulating them from me as well. So I'll just move along to the next item,
Yes,
President. So we want to take the time for a recognition right now for former Police Chief Ron Haddad. I want to give a statement right now, and then we're going to bring him up, and we just want to recognize him for his service and partnership in the school district. Chief Haddad's storied career in law enforcement spans several decades, and it's filled with honors and accolades from civic leaders, citizens, and professional organizations. Along with being an outstanding police chief during his time leading the Dearborn Police, he served as an important leader in the community. The former chief has always put students first. He worked very closely with the late Superintendent Brian Whiston on several community policing programs, including the implementation of the school resource officer model. This highly successful program provides school resource officers the opportunity to build positive relationships with students by working in the schools and supporting the learning environment. The chief was able to secure a federal grant to increase the number of school resource officers from 3 to 7 when I became superintendent to support all Dearborn schools. In 2015, myself, Mayor O'Reilly, then Mayor O'Reilly, and other community leaders accompanied Ron Haddad to the FBI building in Washington, where we presented before an international audience regarding the success of the community policing model. The partnership that was built with the Dearborn Police and the district has greatly benefited the students, staff, and community as a whole. Chief Haddad, during his time, was available to the district 24/7. I knew it because I was talking to him at all times of the night and early morning. He worked closely with me on many issues that support the district, of course, the students. He has worked to implement drug prevention programs, safe driving programs, has taken part in many events promoting diversity and equality. Student and community safety was the #1 priority for Ron Haddad. He and the Dearborn Police Department have provided a sense of comfort to our district when dealing with sensitive issues related to school security. His commitment to Dearborn during his time was especially critical during the pandemic as he partnered with the district to tackle important COVID-related challenges. He was very visible in schools, and the Dearborn Police have been an important partner in the overall success of Dearborn Public Schools. Under his leadership, the Dearborn Police Department became an accredited law enforcement agency by the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police. Accreditation status represents a significant professional achievement. We're very, very grateful for the dedication and the commitment that former Chief of Police Ron Haddad has provided during his tenure in Dearborn. Thank you, Chief, and we have, if you could come up right now.
around, fellas.
It's photo op time.
Photobomb. Thank you, sir.
Chief, thank you very much for your service.
Thank you, Chief. I just want to add one thing. I've read newspaper articles and I've seen the news, and sometimes you hear about school resource officers and some negative things that are going on. And that was never the case with our district, and it still is not the case. These the resource officers develop really strong relationships with the students, and they build on those relationships. They build trust, and the students respect them, and it's a wonderful thing. I've never had any thought of any kind of negative thoughts with our group, the way it's ran. So I want to thank you, Chief, for helping develop that program. It's outstanding.
Thank you. Dr. Maleko, President Dorp, trustees, thank you for this award. I don't want to encourage anyone to pull this off. I try not to ever be the center of attention. However, I'm never afraid to be in the middle and hold up my end when it was called for. So there was never any debate with that. We did work through the night on many occasions, but I honestly feel that the system we've developed here in Dearborn is in fact a national model. And if someone's going to tell you they're going to come in and do something better, I want to buy it first. Don't ever take for granted what you've done here in the city. I get calls now. Before, nobody wanted to hear your opinion. I get calls now. Sit on a panel for 2 hours. We'll give you $1,500. Say, I'm cutting grass today. Thanks anyway. But anyway, our police department is really set for the future. And you mentioned some of the things you've read lately, Uvalde and other places. When Mr. Wuston was here, we were the first to bring in Washington, D.C. on the active shooter programs under President Obama. We were the first school in the nation. And that took a lot of guts because there's a lot of Second Amendment folks. Some people don't believe in what we're doing. But Mr. Wuston and the mayor did not hesitate. And we brought in the Secret Service, FBI, and our schools were the first trained under the Obama, it's time to act. Other people being critical, stonewalling it. We had them here in the city, first in the nation. So we've come a long way. And our training, I'm not going to get into it. It's great training. They're prepared for active shooters, and more importantly, they're prepared to mitigate and identify threats before they happen. And I couldn't be happier with that. So 48 years in law enforcement. I'm not really sorry to be gone, to be honest with you, but it's been a pleasure to work with all of you and a privilege. So thank you. Put the students first. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well deserved. Next item, please.
Okay, so I'll just
Oh,
keep
I'm
going.
sorry.
No, I'll just keep going down. So thank you again to the chief. So my next item is actually school safety, and I want to open by mentioning that we're also have built and will continue to build with the new administration, the new police chief Shaheen, a relationship that is important, and so we'll continue with that partnership. And I've met with him, and we have each other's phone number where we can call 24/7. So it's so important to the security and safety for our students and school community. I want to mention too, school safety is on the mind of a lot of people. Sometimes, over the last 2 years, we've had health safety with COVID. But one of the things that we don't change, we continue to plan for all sorts of safety issues. Our team meets on a regular basis. We have a team that deals with crisis, and it's proactive. So we don't just meet when there is a crisis. We have regular monthly meetings, and we had a meeting just this last week, and we have another one coming up. Now, sometimes we're meeting much more frequently. And I know some of the team members who are here can recall meeting on New Year's Day and other things like that when you need to, when we were dealing with the Omicron variant. But I want to mention that we have an update here from the team. We have additional ALICE training, and I also want to, credit the union presidents who serve on the crisis team as well. But there were some shifts, so we're planning to bring additional ALICE training in August for our district PD. We shifted that. We did the same thing last February. And so we're excited to be able to bring that to all staff. We're also in the process of looking at a safety security specialist that we want to bring in, and the interviews have been tough out there because of the pool of candidates, but we're getting ready hopefully for candidate to come forward in August. And then I just wanted to give a quick update on the Care Hawk. We are going to be ready with all of our Care Hawks in every building by the first day of school. We're on projection. We've been talking about that at our meeting, and I talked to Bob Addy again today. Right now, we have about 15 buildings that are 100%. We have 7 that are about 90% complete. We have some that are in transition and a few more that are 50%. Again, they'll all be ready by the start of school as a projection to go. The only 3 buildings that will not will be the ASC, Central Office, Operation, and Transportation. Those will be done after the students are in school, and obviously that made sense. The priority is in the schools. So I just wanted to give an update on that as well. In the meeting, we also discussed COVID, and we're looking at, we hear about the variant being added. We're going to continue with the normal mitigation we implement, but the same token, wearing a mask is a choice. It's an individual choice, and we respect individual choice either way, and we'll continue to do that in the district. I also want to mention that we do have a lot of the backpack test kits available, and an important announcement is that the government, there's an expiration date on those kits, but the government extended it so they're okay up until 6 months after expiration. So if you do have one of those kits, they were extended on the expiration dates. I have a couple other updates here under other. I want to mention we have some very gifted students, and I thank Trustee Berry for bringing it to my attention. We have, I want to congratulate several students. I went to the Detroit Institute of Arts, and they have a display that's right near on the side of the entrance, actually. Great highlights, and it's wonderful, and I went over there to see it. For educators, actually, you can get in free. It's part of I think the county millage, and we do allow that. We have field trips with our students, but I want to congratulate Nadine Seklawi from Dearborn High, Anis Ali, the rest are from Etzel, Lauren Boyce, Olivia Dobbs, Dunya Jamal Alden, all from Etzel Ford. Again, very gifted students. If we could congratulate them now, and I did a 1-minute message on that. It was my first 1-minute message after my family vacation, so it was an important one. I have two other announcements. I did send out some, every summer we do have staff that can put in for reassignments or the need of the district, so I did send out to the district. We have some reassignments, which then create kind of a domino effect. We have Dr. Winifred Green, who is the new principal at the Henry Ford Early College. I have Miss Amal Al-Qadre, who is transferred as the director of the Michael Berry Center, CTE, Magnet, DCMST, and STEM Middle School. Mr. Wager transferred over to Dearborn High as assistant principal. I have Miss Faye Turfy, who is taking the position of recruitment, retention, and teacher university consultant. And then Mr. Jamal Lawera is assistant principal at Long Virtual School in Maples. As a result of some potential appointments tonight on the agenda, we do have several assistant principal vacancies. We're anticipating getting, as we do every year, they usually get filled in August as we go through the process, but there will probably be more, so we do have that opportunity, and we understand that we want to ramp up some of our intern and our programs that we're doing for training with our own staff, as every district is dealing with staff shortages in general, teachers, but also administrators. So we're proud of our administrators as well. The last thing that I have under my commentary is I want to congratulate, we have a teacher from Woodworth, Salwa Mawari, who published a book, and some of these are actually been purchased in our schools. I'll pass it around to the board if you want to take a look, but I want to congratulate her on her publication. If we can maybe give her a round of applause. And that is all for my commentary. Thank you. Hope everyone's enjoying the summer.
Next item, please.
Recognition and acknowledgements. Acknowledgements of donations.
Good evening, Board, Madam President, Dr. Maleko. We have 5 donations that have come in. Donation of $5,000 has been offered to Woodworth Middle School by the Dearborn Education Foundation in partnership with the National Philanthropy Trust to be used for the garden project. Donation of $350 has been offered to Solana Intermediate School by Ghazi Maflahi to be used for PBI student incentives and awards. Donation of Tri-WG High-Low mat table has been offered to House School by Alan Huss to be used for therapists for therapy treatments for students. A donation of $3,500 has been offered to Solana Elementary School by Access Youth and Education to be used for classroom and curriculum supplies. And the last one, a grant donation of $11,000 has been offered to Solana Elementary and Solana Intermediate by Home Depot to be used towards the Green School / Yard Initiative. And that's the donations.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Approval of minutes. Approval of minutes of the following Dearborn Board of Education meeting. Building and Site Committee meeting, June 20th, 2022. Board Report 22-01. Executive session, closed client attorney privilege, June 20th, 2022. Board Report 22-02. Regular P-12 meeting, June 20th, 2022. Board Report 22-03. Executive session, closed violation of policy, June 27th, 2022. Board Report 22-04. City Relations Committee meeting, June 28th, 2022. Board Report 22-05. Executive session, closed evaluation, July 13th, 2022. Board Report 22-06. Board training session, Part 1, July 20th, 2022. Board Report 22-07. Make any necessary corrections and move approval of these minutes.
So moved. Second it.
I have a motion by trustee Barry and a second by trustee D'Ambrosio. Are there any corrections?
I just have a correction just to reflect the record on the closed meeting minutes.
Which one?
The July 25th. Just shows here that I was absent in the beginning of the meeting, which was true, which I was late, but I want to show that I was right after, so I did vote in the motion, or participated in the discussion, sorry. So just want to make it sure that the record reflects that I arrived around 6:25. If that could be added into the minutes.
It's been a busy month.
I know.
It's been a
that's-
very busy month. Anyone else? I have a small correction. It's with the regular board meeting minutes from last month. It's on page 2. I believe it's D, COVID. Is that right, D, COVID? If you look at the sentence, read the sentence, it says something like COVID has, and it doesn't tell you if it's gone up or down, it just says basically COVID has. So just make that correction. Is that all? Any others?
Mary Lane would be proud of us tonight.
I just want to say, Joanne, if you need, I remember writing down the time when trustee Moses came in. If I can find the paperwork, I'll pass it to you. It's somewhere
Might
here.
be around that time, I think I
I
was
thought it was 6:38, but,
6:38.
I think that's what I
I
have
was
on
that
mine was
late?
38.
Thank you.
because I wrote it down too, just in case we weren't paying attention.
Just to make sure, we're talking about the executive session, the closed session, or we're talking about the superintendent?
The superintendent evaluation.
So this says you arrived 6:41, that's not,
Then let's reflect that.
okay, cause it is on here.
But in the minutes and in the discussion, it wasn't.
No, but it's up at the top.
Oh,
next
it's
to
at the top. Okay, thank you.
Okay. May I have a roll call, please?
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee D'Ambrosio?
Yes.
Trustee Moses?
Yes.
Trustee Petrikov?
Yes,
Trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
Trustee Watts? Yes. President McDonald?
Yes.